video, we made this plywood ball. It's made from 60 segments of plywood cut into triangles, glued together, heavily sanded into a sphere, then given several coats of lacquer. This was its original colour. It's come out quite golden looking as the oils from the lacquer soaked in, which made it, gave it a very good finish, and we're pretty happy with it. Still, having made that, we wondered what other things could be done. So we decided to make another one and try a different finish. What would it look like if we gave it a lime wash before it was lacquered? We'd used this technique before on some other woods, but not on the plywood. So this was a bit of an experiment. This is a liming solution. It's a liquid, a bit like a milkshake. When you open it up, you get a cloth, dab it on and rub it onto a ball and work it in fairly evenly after the sanding is complete. It soaks in and locks in the final look of the ball. It changes from this original colour to something else entirely different. And here we are. It's got a completely different colouring to it by changing that first coating. The best way to have a look at this is the contrast with the original one. So I'll just push that to one side for a moment. There. Both finishes have a certain charm, but it depends a little bit about where you're going to put it when it's finished as to what is the appropriate colour that you're going to use. Still, it's an alternative. Like before, we take the ball up until the glue had dried, then we had to start the sanding process. It took about 2 hours of sanding to get the ball completely sanded round, then maybe another hour after the lacquering to give it a final polish. There was a difficulty we had to overcome with the first ball, and that was when we were putting the lacquer on, it had a tendency to run. That meant we could only coat a small part of the ball, let it dry, rotate it, and add a little bit more. This gave us some fine joins in the different coats that we had to sand out. It made for a lot more work. I wanted to avoid that process this time, so we made another device. I'll just push this away. Okay, this mechanism here is an electric motor, 240 volt. It's from an old microwave oven. It used to turn around slowly to turn the plates while you're cooking your food. I've added a small brass section here that can grip the ball on the 3 pointers, a nice big spring, and a ball bearing with a rubber stopper on it. That should hold the ball together. There we go. This made quite a difference. It's not centered particularly well here, but it meant the ball would keep turning, the lacquer wouldn't run, and I could get nice even coats all over the ball in a single pass. I've got a much smoother result in the finish because of it. This is a small supplement to the original video, and it's allowed me to show how different a finish you can get just by changing the preparation. So you can either stick with the original colour or go for a different look, and there's probably other looks you can try out as well, but that's probably about as far as I'm going to take it. And now on to the next project.